this is the wedding mishap reading. This is my first time doing this, so we'll see how this goes. We have the waves, we have the old country, and we have the silver screen romantic. So it's gonna read mostly like the wedding predictions or wedding planner ones, but it's gonna have the major arcanas as mishaps that could go wrong or might go wrong, or you know, something that's crazy. So you can choose from the waves, old country, or the silver screen romantic, whichever resonates for you. We will start the ratings. I will try to skip a few things to get to the mishaps, or if like somebody likes it better, if I do the mishaps first and then go over the wedding themes and things like that. But yeah, probably on the second reading I might do the mishaps first, because the mishaps are a little bit, interesting in their own way. We're going to start off with the waves. So let's see. The waves. Okay, so don't know where to put my paper. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to do the major arcanas first. I think it will be fun. Okay. So, what will go wrong at this wedding is judgment. Probably a bad omen. Shoes torn, man chases you to the justice of the peace before the wedding. That could be a sign. Death card. No bad speeches. They could be warnings. They could be really good advice. And then we have the Hermit upside down. The Hermit is no interruptions, so it's really going to be silent so everybody can hear you if you make any mistakes. So the Chariot, the bride and groom get upstaged at their wedding. Okay. And the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is 3 times not so lucky. Maybe you're getting married a 3rd time, maybe the minister messes up the bride or the groom's name 3 times, or something happens 3 times and then the rest of the wedding goes to, goes bad. So watch out for that. If it does, let it happen. Not your fault. You can always get a refund. So then we have Justice. And you think Justice in most ratings would be a good card. Justice, something goes wrong at the reception. A sad DJ, a caterer that's late, a caterer that doesn't bring enough food, no seating for anyone. Something doesn't get paid for, so last minute you're rushing around to kind of right a wrong. So, interesting. And what kind of wedding is this, you may ask? 2 of Swords, so it's a nautical theme. Blue, ocean themed, lake themes kind of things. So it's going to be lake house, beach, destination wedding. Seaside ceremony, maybe blue and white tones, shells, anchors, ropes, things that look like a dock or whatever. And then the venue is going to be represented by the Queen and the 7 of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. Okay, and that's a full service resort, suites, ceremony, and areas for a reception, catering, other package deals that would save money. Also, it could be at an antique store, a antique store, art gallery, craft brewery, distillery, gym, or a sports facility, or planetarium, or a zoo. So, depending on who you are, it's basically covered. And then we have the cake, mostly food, kind of what dessert would look like, is represented by the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is like chocolate bar with chocolates, chocolate fruit, chocolate cake. So, I'm very big on chocolate cake. And then we have the flowers, which would be represented by the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups, mostly focal flowers, carnations, sunflowers, roses, hydrangeas, or your favorite flower. This could be all those listed, or it could be one that you like a lot, or has some significance to your relationship. And then we have the wedding attire. So it's going to be a garden party, because we do have flowers in this card, we do have little butterflies, and we do have like a scenic view with birds and stuff like that. So, garden party stuff. Monochrome dresses for the women, some jewelry maybe for like an accent or a whimsical look, or even hats would be optional for women, and comfortable shoes, of course, if you're standing for a while, and then for the gentlemen, semi-formal suits, pastels, floral prints, or nautical prints. They probably will put that on the dress code, and comfy shoes. And then the wedding gifts will be represented by the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords, name brands, I think, brand names, something to that effect. So, something one of a kind too, maybe. So yeah, a lot of things are going to go wrong with this wedding, and it's going to be like a real shit show. Yeah, so if you thought that this was fun, coming up with this idea was very hard. I didn't know what to do, so I kind of just put this together, and I was hoping for the best. But, yeah, if any of these things do happen, you should always be the bigger person. You need to make sure that you understand that, hey, it's not that you invited people that would interrupt you, or you were stressed out about certain things going wrong. My grandmother, her food never arrived, so they had like a cocktail hour because the hors d'oeuvres came. So you could really do a lot of things if you think fast. If like your caterer doesn't show up, or your DJ's kind of sad because he had a breakup and he has to do weddings, I would always have something that would counteract that, and if everybody has like a playlist that's wedding related, I would ask some of the guests if they could play their songs or their favorite song. Just have song requests from your guests, and have one of your maids of honor or one of the ushers do it. I mean, it would be great. It would be a little bit, that the guests would be giving to the couple. So anyway, if you like this reading, leave a like, and if you like this, I might do a few more. And thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye now. Alright, and now we have the Old Country. Just give me a sec. Alright. The Old Country. Very interesting. Interesting thing. Okay, the Old Country. Alright, let's do the Mishaps first, because what fun. Okay, there's going to be a lot. So, start with this one. I'm going to do the mishaps and then what the wedding's about. So we have the death card, a bad speech, embarrassing speech about sex, politics, or secrets. That's nice to start off your reception. You have the judgment. There's going to be a bad omen before the wedding. Maybe somebody chases you. Maybe some of your clothes get ripped at the ceremony, or somebody loses their clothes or luggage or like whatever the case. So, and then you have the world card in reverse. So no one dies, but you only wish they did. So there could be somebody that's really annoying at the wedding, or there could be a lot of complaints that it's taking too long, and it's kind of, like maybe there's kids around and like they're getting restless. So it's becoming annoying to some of the guests. And this happens way before the full card. Full card is when your wedding invitations have misspellings, or they say the wrong place. There's something wrong with your invitations. Maybe they don't go out until like a week before the wedding, and a lot of the people don't show. Or your names could be misspelled. I know mine will be. Oh, I can't wait. Alright, and then you have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune usually is a good card, but in this case, 3 times not so lucky. So maybe at the reception or the ceremony, somebody says your name wrong, or the bride or groom's name wrong, and you're just kind of like, that's not their name, and you had to correct them. So yeah, it's going to be a big hassle. This might make you very, very angry. So just breathe. Some people are never going to like know your names anyway, and you probably won't see some of these people again, but over time they'll get to know these people, and they'll get to know you. So if they say your name wrong the first time, it's not a big deal. Okay, and this is going to be a rustic wedding with the 4 of Pentacles. It's going to have homey vibes, it's going to have a DIY vibe, it's going to have string lights, mason jars, twine, lace, wood, everything. A rural venue, and a chic, intimate barn setting. And then for the venue, we have the 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups means that it's probably going to be a destination wedding. It's probably going back to your old country, whether it be Japan, Africa, Europe, maybe the US, South America, or Asia. Any Asia place will do. And then we have the cake. The cake is represented by the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is, like donuts, pies, cake pops, cupcakes, cookies maybe. Maybe you just don't like the traditional sense of whatever, and you think that most people in your reception are going to have a sweet tooth and they'll want food. So maybe you have a lot of kids around, And then we have the flowers, which is represented by the 9 of Pentacles. A lot of pentacles in this reading, so it's going to be a lot of money exchange probably, or spent. So fall flowers, so it's probably going to be in the fall or late summer. So peonies, orchids, roses, ginger, pretty, Maiden Fern, and other fillers like that. So it's going to be a really pretty, kind of whimsy looking thing. And then you have the wedding attire, the Ace of Pentacles. So it's whatever the couple deems that they want. It's probably going to be a mix. It's probably going to be a little bit traditional. But whatever they want, that's what it says. And then we have the wedding gift, which is represented by the page of oysters. And I figured that since he kind of looks like he's holding a an iPad or a phone or something, he's holding that little oyster there, I was thinking that it could be music. Maybe somebody gives you music, and it's really cool music. It could be from your favorite artist. It could be new artists that you've never heard of, but they're pretty good. And you're like, yeah, let's listen to this. Anyway, yeah, I kind of like this wedding, except for all the interruptions that will probably frustrate you. Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty cool one. So I hope you like this one because it's pretty awesome. Even though it's a lot of interruptions and there might be a few people that, don't say your name right. Or, they have a little bit of dirty minds. But, all in all, it should be pretty good. Yeah, so if you like this reading, leave a like. If you like what I'm doing on here, subscribe. And if you have any questions, concerns, or ideas for my next video, leave them in the comment section below and I will read those. But yeah, I just kind of threw this together last minute. It took a lot of work. But I think the mishaps are pretty mild, to be honest. I think everybody has a little bit of a mishap in certain things through their life. Even if everything goes wrong, you can compromise and try to fix everything. And I think fixing it and thinking on your feet is better than, some other things. Anyway, thank you for watching. And always think on your feet, because that's how your relationship's going to work, If everything's falling out around you, it's always important to understand that you need to compromise. And if you know how to compromise, you'll be good. Anyway, now we have the Silver Screen Romantic. Fun stuff. Silver Screen Romantic. And like I have been doing with the other readings, I will be doing the mishaps first. Very interesting. Okay. And you only have 3 mishaps that will happen, but I think these are kind of big. The Lovers, usually a good card, but in this case, an inseparable pet that one of you may have, the bride or the groom. I saw a picture of a baby puppy sitting on the bride's dress. The puppy didn't want to go anywhere. And also the groom in another picture had his Saint Bernard trying to pull him away from the altar. So it was really cute, really adorable. And we also have the Fool. So your wedding invitations will probably have a misspelling. Maybe on the place, maybe on the bride or the groom's name, or time, or explaining something. It's going to be misspelled. So, yeah, something to look for. You might want to check and recheck that. And the last one is the High Priestess. I was scared of this one. The High Priestess is, in this case, it's usually a good card, but in this case, you're gonna have to make your own suit or wedding dress, because you lost your luggage. Yeah. It could just be a mistake. It could be that you flew and you kind of, it was last minute, so you didn't have time to, travel in a car or whatever. So you're gonna have to make something. But if I were you, I would actually have somebody just take extra clothes for you if it's like a wedding. Even if it's just a white dress, have them pack it for you just so you can wear something. If you're a man, I would have your best man pack you a suit, even if it's like a sports suit, just to cover all bases, just to make sure that you have those bases covered. Even if you don't need it, it's better to have it than not have it, you know what I mean? So if somebody's traveling, like, through the country with, like, they're in their car and they have their suitcase and all that, I would let them know that just in case, I want to make sure that you have a suit or a dress for me, depending on if you're the bride or the groom. I'd make sure that you have backups. That's why you have a maid of honor and best man, so. Let's get to the reading. So this is going to be, according to the the 7 of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles, it's going to be a vintage romantic wedding. So it's going to be soft, use like pastels, decorative lighting, plenty of florals, hanging lights, calligraphy, and maybe a wall of flowers. Something from decades past, antique decor, a beauty look, kind of like, 1930s, 1920s maybe. Worn-in seats, cars, chairs, doors that are kind of whitewashed, classic getaway cars, that kind of thing. So it's gonna be pretty, like, greaser kind of Hollywood glam maybe. So the venue is represented by the 5 of Cups and the 10 of Wands. So it's going to be really hard to get this. It's going to be probably a historical site, a home, a mansion, vacation rental, a community center, a government facility, a museum, a civic building, a backyard, a restaurant, a neighborhood block party, or urban loft. So it's probably going to be like you get married with a justice of peace, and then you either go to a vacation rental, which might be hard to get around the time that you need it, or a restaurant, which would probably be hard to book if they are serving customers. So you have to be patient with people sometimes. So I would be patient with people, and I would always have a backup in that case. But it's going to be really nice, I think. So with the cake, somebody wanted a lot of things with their cake. So we have the 4 of Swords, which is rest. We have the 8 of Cups, which is looking for something good. And we have the 10 of Cups. So there's happiness here. And there's an alternative cake, or an alternative to cake for people that have dietary issues. And there's also cupcakes. There's going to be a modern it's going to be a modern cake. It's going to be a modern twist on a classic style, custom cake reflecting each individual's personality, like bride and groom. And flavors, probably chocolate, caramel, white chocolate, biscuit flavor, carrot cake. The icing is going to be royal icing, fondants, buttercream, marzipan, and some whipped creams. So it's going to be a pretty elaborate cake. It might also have intricate pieces that are going to be alternatives or something else that people would like. So the flowers are going to be very, classic. The 3 of Swords is here. The 3 of Swords is mostly roses, baby's breath, and greens. You didn't want anything too crazy. So that's good. And then you have the dress code, which is the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is very classic, traditional gear for the ladies. It's going to be formal colors, probably a white, black, red, very solid colors, very Hollywood glam colors. For the gentleman, it's just going to be very simple, a classic suit. So you don't really have to be thinking about that. Maybe the colors will be explained, but they're pretty straightforward when it comes to a suit. And the wedding gift. The Five of Wands. The Five of Wands, since they're fighting, it's going to be something that people don't really get at weddings. It's going to be a car. It could be a classic car. It could be that somebody's mom or dad has had this car for a while. Or, and they just pass it on. Which is pretty neat. And a lot of people will be fighting over this car because it's so unique or old or classic. So it's going to be the talk of town. Anyway, if you like this reading, leave a like. If you like what I'm doing on here, subscribe. And if you have any questions, concerns, or ideas for my next video, leave them in the comment section below, and I will read those. Anyway, I kind of just put it together. The mishaps, the everything I just kind of put together. I added a few things to make it interesting. But I think the mishaps, everybody has a little bit of a mishap in their wedding, so it's not like it's a big deal. You just have to learn how to compromise. Make sure that your bridesmaids or like your best man or your maid of honor have a dress or a suit for you in this pack for sure. But with that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.